Stop saying sorry. It's okay to apologize, but stop saying sorry. Even when you say it, you know it feels weak. You know it has no weight. And especially when you apologize to a woman, it starts to put you on the back foot and puts her on the pedestal. But at the same time, she resents you and she doesn't trust you. So if you're a man who's been saying, I'm sorry a lot in a relationship, then I want you to cut it. Even if you've made a lot of mistakes, even if you're going to make mistakes in the future, in this episode, I'm going to tell you how you're going to apologize and still feel like the man and allow her to actually feel reassured and trust you again. Before we get into the episode, it's going to be a really important episode because you're a man, you're human, you're going to F up occasionally, and that's okay. A woman doesn't expect you to be perfect. She expects you to be her man and she expects you to lead. And you're not leading if you're constantly saying, I'm sorry. So before we get into the episode, if you don't know me, if you're not familiar with me, my name is Sasha Fedorovsky. I'm the founder of the Mind Heart Method, which is the leading program for men to save your marriage in 90 days or less. My work began, the way that I developed this program is working in the medical industry. I worked in the medical industry specializing in men's health. I worked with doctors, researchers, psychologists who were all specialists in the fields. And what I discovered was that there was a specific formula for a man to get back his well-being, his confidence, and his relationship. And what I did is I trimmed the fat, I brought it all together without all of the academic, clinical red tape and all the boundaries so that I could deliver a program that successfully helps men step into the best version of themselves, step into their leadership, overcome stress, anxiety, and all these modern day issues so that they could gain the respect of their woman again and save their marriage. And it doesn't have to take years. Your marriage may have broken down over many years, but it doesn't have to take years to get it back. And I want to tell you that your relationship isn't broken. It's just out of balance. And in this episode today, I'm going to share with you a very important tool that's going to help you bring things back into balance. So let's get into the content. So if you're used to saying, I'm sorry, it's something that you would have learned from your mother. Maybe your father said it a lot. Maybe you were told it's polite or it's the right thing to do. But I want you to take a moment. I want you to feel into it. The last time that you said, I'm sorry. Or even imagine yourself saying those words to a woman now. How much resistance do you feel in your body? Do you feel resistance to those words? Do you have any emotion when you say them? Do they bear any weight? And the answer is most likely no. And if they do bear some feeling or some weight, they're likely to make you feel this big, right? So even if you truly mean it from your heart, you're actually not, you're not giving your woman confidence that it's not going to happen again. You may feel bad, but also in your feeling bad, in your feeling small, in you diminishing yourself when you say you're sorry, you're actually giving your woman the opposite of what she wants. Is she wants to have trust in you. She wants to have confidence in you, and she wants to be able to turn around, to look away, to let go, and to be able to lean back on you. And the words I'm sorry are going to give her the opposite of that. So each time you say them, she trusts you less, she has less respect for you, and it often doesn't mend the issue. So what you're going to do instead, you're going to cut those words from your vocabulary. And next time something happens that you are truly sorry for, that you can see the wrong in what happened, that you truly did make a mistake, you're going to use this 3-step formula instead. So you can also use this formula on situations that have happened in the past, right? So you can actually bring up something from the past. And I know this is going to scare you a little bit. It's going to bring up some alarm bells because you're already trying to work with the list of 10 things that your woman or your wife has never forgotten about. But I promise you that this is a really good strategy, because what it's going to do, it's going to release resentment. Just because your woman isn't bringing something up, it doesn't mean it's not at the back of her mind. It doesn't mean that she trusts you and that she has that faith in you. So what I'd recommend is actually bringing this up on an old matter, if there isn't currently an issue. So what you're going to do is you're going to sit your woman down. You're going to direct her to come and talk to you, to come and sit with you, and you're going to bring up the issue yourself. And what this is going to do, it's going to alleviate so much stress from her body. It's going to alleviate so much resentment, because it's usually the woman bringing these things up. It's usually the woman bringing up things that have hurt her or holding them in. So just simply opening up that conversation is going to alleviate a lot of stress from her body. So you're going to sit her down and you're going to bring up the issue, the matter that occurred. And what you're going to do is you're going to judge yourself for what happened. You're going to judge your actions, right? You're not going to share your feelings. This is a very, very important part. You are not to share your feelings. You are not to use the word "I'm sorry." What you're going to do is you're going to judge yourself for why this was wrong, why this led to a problem. And you may also judge her, or you may also judge the other parties involved. If you have judged yourself as being wrong in the issue, but you were not the only one at fault, you don't have to take all the blame. You want to judge the situation. And what you can do is you can ask her feelings on it, not her thoughts or her judgments, because this will get her into the masculine frame, but her feelings. How does she feel about it? And I want you to hold your frame at this stage. Brace yourself, because those feelings aren't going to feel good for you. But I want you to imagine that you're spraying Teflon on yourself, and whatever she shares, it's going to wash off. Because what you're doing for her is very important at this stage. You are opening up a rubbish bin for her to release all that old resentments, all those old feelings. And when you do this, what's going to happen is at the end, you're going to close that rubbish bin, you're going to throw it out. You are the hero here because you have helped her alleviate the burden. I want you to not focus on the content of what she's saying. She may say terrible things about you. It may feel really painful. Do not take it logically. What she's doing is she's releasing her emotions. She's sharing, she's venting, and this is how women release stress. So that's the first step. You're going to judge yourself, you're going to judge her, you're going to judge the situation, you're going to allow her to share her feelings. What you're going to do next is you're going to give her the plan. You're going to give her the plan, which is going to help her to build trust in you again, to trust that this scenario that hurt her will never happen again. So you're going to tell her the plan of what's going to happen next, of how it's going to be different in the future, and the steps that you're going to take to ensure that the scenario that hurt her, the thing that you feel sorry for, or potentially you don't even feel sorry for her for that, but you feel sorry that you hurt her. So you're going to give her the plan of how it's never going to happen again. You may create some steps to ensure of how it's not going to happen, right? So think about this as the way you would an incident at work. You're not going to apologize a million times. You're not going to make yourself feel small. You're not going to, use baby words and, coddle and canoodle and all these sort of things where a woman will feel repulsed. You're not going to do that at work, okay? You would feel ridiculous doing that. This is the same thing you do in your personal life. So you're going to judge the situation. You're going to do a triage. Then you're going to have a plan. Right? You're going to have your contingency plan for the future on how this is not going to happen again. You're going to explain that to her in a very firm, solid, confident, and calm way. Then you're going to get her to share her feelings again, right? How she feels on the matter. Does she feel safe? Does she feel comfortable? Does she feel at ease? Does she feel joy? What is she feeling? Those feelings are going to help you to come up with an even better contingency plan, or to feel like your plan that you have is solid, right? So now you've judged yourself, you've judged the scenario. She's now had the reassurance that you know that this was wrong, that it hurt her, she shared her feelings, and you've actually got a plan for the way forward, right? So this is giving her the reassurance that this is never going to happen again. And so women are always seeking safety. So they're looking towards a man, she's looking towards you, if she still trusts you, for that safety. So this is part 2. And part 3 is constantly giving her validation and reassurance. So for example, if you're walking along and say it was an infidelity that occurred, right? So this is a really big thing. If it's an infidelity that occurred, and just say you're walking past a particular spot where she knows that you and this woman were, this is going to bring up things for her. It's going to trigger her. This may be a scenario, just say you have lied about finances, just say something happened financial and finances come up. So this will also trigger her. So whatever the scenario was, if you encounter that scenario or reminders of that scenario, it's just like somebody who's come from the army, a vet who gets PTSD. They walk past a similar scenario, they have a smell. The same thing is going to happen with your woman, right? If this is something that's painful, if it's something that's triggering. So what you're going to ensure in those situations is you're always giving her validation and reassurance. You are reminding her of the plan. You are reminding her of how it's never going to happen again. And you're constantly getting her feelings to see how much stress, resentment, and anxiety has been released. And this is actually going to help you to understand when you can stop giving that validation, when you can stop bringing up the issue. So it will feel counterintuitive to constantly bring it up, to ask her feelings, because as a man, you will want to forget about it. You will want to put the matter to bed. You will want to avoid it. This is how your nervous system deals with stress, but not for a woman, okay? Because a woman is multitasking, right? She's got gray and white matter. She's always sensing the environment. A woman is an alarm system. She will always be more sensitive than you. So there's no point telling her not to be crazy, not to bring it up, that the matter is gone. The matter may be gone for you because you have the nervous system and the physical body to let go of stress, fear, and danger much quicker than her. But because her nervous system and her body is much more sensitive, this will take a lot more time, okay? So what you're always doing with a woman is you're always reassuring her. You're always going to give her that reassurance. You're checking to see how she feels, and you're asking her to share her feelings, because essentially getting her to share her feelings is what's going to release the stress of the incident that occurred. And it's going to help her to release stress in every single moment. So this is the formula for a practical apology that a man can use, that's not going to make himself feel this small, that's actually going to build trust in the person, particularly if it's a woman, particularly if it's your wife. And it's also going to help put you in the leadership role and help build respect. So you can use this at work, you can use this with other men, but you really want to use this with your woman, because when it comes to emotional conflicts, this is where men want to sort of hide and run for shelter or defend themselves. And this is usually what causes the demise of the relationship. So I want you to try this at home tonight. Okay, this is all well and good in theory, but I am creating this content for you in a way to coach you and help you, because I'm not going to be helping every man. I'm not going to be working with every man one-to-one. But if you are in a scenario where you've realized that it's time to save your marriage, right, or create a satisfying relationship, then I highly, highly, highly recommend, while I have availability, you book in a one-to-one session with me. This is not a therapy session. This is not where you're going to vent and vomit your emotions and, I pat you on the back. This is where we understand the root cause of the problem, right? your part in it, her part in it. What is the actual issue? Because if we don't know what the issue is, we can't solve it. Then we create a practical plan. We create steps. I give you the formula bespoke to you based on your situation on what you need to do in order to move forward to your desired outcome, which is either to get your woman back, to save your marriage, to get more intimacy back in the relationship, to bring it back to that playful honeymoon stage. And this is possible. It can be better than it ever was, but it's up to you as a man to take initiative. So while I have availability, you can check in the links below. Do book in that one-to-one session with me. I look forward to speaking with you. If you're new to my content, if you are interested in creating a satisfying relationship, into stepping into your masculine leadership, what that means, how to do it, and to understand women. What do women want? Women will never tell you what they want. Women are not logical creatures. You must not take their words literally. This is why you need to do the work to understand women if you plan to have a successful, loving, and connected relationship with a woman. So I do have free content for you. I recommend you get my free intimacy guide and watch my masterclass for men. There should be a link to it above. Let me know if this was useful. Do try it out. Let me know how it goes. Let me know in the comments what content, what questions you have, so that I can create more content for you to help you step into your masculine, to save your marriage, and to create a loving, connected relationship and hold your family unit together. Till next time.